All right, today we're jumping right into two acronyms that you'll hear all the time if you're working with real-time data, CDC and CDF. Now, they sound almost the same, right? But they actually play totally different parts in keeping our data and our businesses perfectly up to date. So let's break it down.
So think about it. Your data is never just sitting there. It's constantly changing every single second. You've got new sales popping up, customers updating their info, inventory levels dropping. It's a nonstop flow. So how in the world are you supposed to keep track of every little change without doing something crazy like copying your entire database over and over again? I mean, talk about slow and expensive. That's the exact problem we're going to tackle.
So, what is change data capture? Well, this is the art of tracking data in real time. And the answer to that big problem we just talked about, it's a really clever technique called, you guessed it, change data capture, or CDC for short. This is basically the magic that lets us watch our data and catch every single change right as it happens. Okay, so what is CDC, really? At its heart, it's all about three things. First, you're capturing a change the very instant it's made. Then, you're tracking exactly what that change was, and this is the crucial part, you're doing it all in real time. We're not talking about batch jobs that run overnight here. Nope, this is about watching your data change literally second by second. All right, section 2, the language of change. So how do we even describe a data modification? To really get how CDC works its magic, we got to peek under the hood a little bit and understand the language databases themselves use when they're making these changes.
You know, in the world of SQL, you got a few different types of commands, each with its own job. You've got DDL, which is for building things like creating tables. You've got DQL for asking questions, your classic select statement, and DCL handles who can do what. But for us, for CDC, the one we care about, the star of the show is DML, Data Manipulation Language. These are the commands that actually go in and mess with the data, the inserts, the updates, the deletes.
So, just to be super clear, CDC doesn't care if you're creating a new table or changing user permissions. It completely ignores all that noise. It has one job, and it is absolutely laser-focused on it, watching for those three key actions: inserts, updates, and deletes. That's it. Those are the changes that matter, and that's all it's looking for.
So we get to the goal, perfect sync. You might be thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but why? Why bother capturing every single little change? And that is the perfect question to ask. What's the end game here?
The whole point is just efficiency. It's about being smart. Instead of doing the insane thing, which is taking a giant snapshot of your entire database every hour and reprocessing everything, CDC lets you just deal with what's new. That's it. The analogy is perfect. You wouldn't reread an entire 500-page book just because someone fixed a single typo, right? You just look at the correction. CDC is that correction note for your data. It's so much smarter. All right, on to its confusing cousin, CDF. Just when you thought you understood, there's a plot twist. So, you're feeling good, you get what CDC is, it's how we capture changes from a source. But then, you hear people talking about CDF, or Change Data Feed. And honestly, it's super easy to get them mixed up. So, let's just ask it straight up. What on earth is a Change Data Feed, or CDF? And more importantly, how is it not the same thing as change data capture? Okay, let's clear this up right now. They are partners, not rivals. This is the absolute key to understanding the difference. CDC and CDF are not competing with each other. They're actually teammates. They work together, hand in hand, in the same data pipeline to make all this real-time stuff happen. Let me show you what I mean. So here's the best way I've found to think about it. Imagine CDC is the delivery truck. It's a general technique, a method. Its job is to drive over to your source database, pick up all the changes, the new packages, and get them out of the warehouse. Now CDF, that's the smart receiving dock at your new warehouse, the lakehouse. It's not a general technique, it's a specific feature of that new warehouse. Its job is to take the packages off the truck and neatly organize them within the lakehouse, telling everyone else, hey, new stuff just arrived. One gets it out, the other organizes it on the inside. Let's walk through how this actually works in a real pipeline. Step 1. Boom, a customer updates their address in your main application database. Step 2, your CDC tool is watching the database logs, sees that update, and grabs it. It's the delivery truck picking up the package. Step 3, the CDC tool drives that single changeover and drops it into your raw data layer in the lakehouse, your bronze table. And finally, step 4, the moment it lands, the CDF feature of that table kicks in and basically raises a flag, saying, hey everyone, we've got a new row, a new change right here. It exposes that change so all your other processes can immediately pick it up and use it. See, it's a perfect 1, 2, 3, 4 sequence. All right, this brings us to the lakehouse connection. If you remember only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this next point. This is the one critical difference you absolutely need to remember, and it all boils down to one word: lakehouse.
So do you need a lakehouse? Well, for CDC, the answer is a big fat no. You can use CDC anywhere. It's a general pattern. You can use it to send data to an old-school data warehouse, a streaming platform, anything. It doesn't care. But for CDF, the answer is an absolute yes. CDF is not a general thing. It's a specific feature that is built into modern lakehouse table formats like Delta Lake or Apache Iceberg. No lakehouse, no CDF. It's that simple.
So, if we had to boil this all down, here's the takeaway. CDC gets the data out of the source system. Think of it as the extraction. CDF, on the other hand, is what organizes and presents that data once it's already in the lakehouse. CDC gets it out, CDF presents it inside. Simple as that. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know the difference, and you know how these two work together to unlock real-time data, where could this transform your work? What could you build or improve if you had access to information the very second it changed? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.